If you want to be winning online races and setting competitive times in rivals leaderboards in FH5 Dirt Racing, it is important you know what the best car is depending on the class limits. So I've put together this video of the best car in each class for dirt racing in Forza Horizon 5 2023 edition. Let's get into it. So let's begin at the bottom in D class, where the International Scout 800A is the best car. Some people may argue that the Peel Trident is better, which it is for the 1% of races which you finish without either crashing or missing a checkpoint. So the International Scout 800A is definitely better, as it is so much easier to drive. Next we move on to C class, where once again the International Scout 800A is the best car, if you take everything into account. Because in C class you can argue that the Reliant Supervan is better, but we all know how stable those are. So the International Scout 800A is once again the best car that you can be somewhat consistent with. It is a little on the sketchy side to drive, so it takes a bit of getting used to, but it's not too tricky to drive. In B class, once again, the International Scout 800A is the best car. Anyone would think this video was made by EA with the amount of copy and pasting that's been done so far. But here in B class, there isn't really anything that you can argue is better. And also, with B class being the limit, you can throw on the off-road tyres, which give it much better grip. In B class, it's actually quite fun to drive because it has quite a pointy front end and a slightly more oversteery setup, which makes it quite enjoyable. For A class, the Willis Jeep is the best car all round. It feels kind of weird to drive, and it's a bit slidey in general, so it may take you a few races to get used to it, but its straight line speed and its acceleration out of corners is where it gains the time. If you want something a bit more stable and easier to drive though, you can use the Maserati 8CTF, as that's also pretty good all round, even though it's not quite as fast on the straights. Moving up to S1 class, the best car is easily the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. It very much has a tendency to understeer, so it doesn't feel that great to drive, but its acceleration and straight line speed are very good, and it's super OP. But for those of you who want to avoid using the Bone Shaker, I recommend the Lola T70 Mark IIIB. It is somewhat sketchy to drive, particularly over the big bumps, and it also has a bit of a tendency to understeer, but it still is good enough to challenge for wins in online races, and you can avoid getting rammed by everyone who hates the Bone Shaker. Up here in S2 class, the Mercedes CLK GTR is the best car. This is a very well balanced, grippy car with lots of power, and it dominates S2 class dirt racing. For X class, it's once again the Mercedes CLK GTR that is the best car. But as X class rivals and Horizon Open don't exist, I think speed traps and speed zones are the only things on dirt that this thing is actually useful for. So that's basically everything for this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to reply to all of them. If you found this video helpful, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for plenty more Forza Horizon 5 content, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.